Hi, and welcome along to AFTV News Daily. I hope you guys have had yourself a great day. We got a brilliant show lined up for you tonight because we've got a very special guest. We have Anthony Yarde. How you doing, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Anthony, of course, in case you don't know, you should know, man. One of the best boxers in this country, light heavyweight. And, it's great to have you on. Also, massive Arsenal fan. And, Anthony, it's great to have you here tonight, mate. And, first of all, I have to start by saying my condolences because I don't think there's anybody that's this coronavirus has hit. Well, very few people where this coronavirus has hit harder than you. You lost your father. You lost your nan. I mean, it must be some really rough times for you at the moment.
It's unexplainable. It's just one of those situations you can't control it. What's happened has happened. You just got to try and stay positive, keep moving forward, and try and just focus on the things that make you happy going forward.
Yeah, I saw when you lost your dad. First of all, I think it was.
Yeah.
You actually came out and you did a video where you were appealing to people to observe the lockdown, observe the social distancing, because you were like, I've suffered this personal loss, and a lot of people were bigging you up. You was all over the newspapers, all over the media for coming out and saying that.
Yeah, exactly. And even with my reasons why I put out that post, it's like people already knew about it. So people were messaging me because my dad, his side of the family were very connected. So a lot of people knew I was his son. So they were messaging me about it. And I'm a very private person. So I said the best thing to do is just take control of the situation. If I announce it, it's better than if I just see it in the newspaper. Do you get what I'm saying? And everyone starts messaging me. So I just put it out there and I played it with people because I was one of them people who, yes, I always take precaution, but it's not a reality until it happens like to you or someone close to you. So when it did happen, it happened very early on as well.
Yeah.
Literally put out a post and said, everyone be careful. Just stay in your house. It's happened. They're telling everyone stay in there for a reason. Everyone comes with all this conspiracy stuff about they're trying to control us and things like that. Okay, whatever. But it's not worth the risk. You get what I'm saying? That was my plea to everybody. Whatever you're thinking, whatever your views are, it's not worth the risk of losing someone close to you.
Yeah, and then not only did you lose your dad, you lost your nan as well. So that lost two people. I mean, it's just so hard to comprehend.
It's mad. It's just been harder on the family really. The thing that affected me the most, because the thing that helps me is understanding that at some point everybody goes. There's people around the world suffering throughout their whole life, seeing their family suffer, and there's nothing they can do about it. The thing that bothers me most is the fact that I didn't feel I made enough effort with my nan. My nan made a lot of effort trying to contact me, trying to contact my little sister, trying to make contact again because I grew up on my mum's side of the family. And so I really and truly lost contact with my dad's side of the family around between 12 and 13 years old. I grew up with my dad until I was around 8, 9. And then when I became an adult, I remember my cousins, I always stayed in contact with my cousins, and my cousins were telling me, Nan wants to see you, come around and see Nan. And it's like, around the times when I was getting serious about boxing, and I don't know, like, something just, you can't bring yourself to go and see someone that you haven't seen in so long. So that's the only thing I regret from the situation is endure people, communicate, tell people how you feel whilst they're still here.
Yeah, that's always, mate, that message is so true, especially in a time like this. You know what I mean? If you all the petty arguments go out the window, all the everything. You know what I mean? Because once someone's gone, they're gone.
That's it, gone. And what people do as well is they do this thing where they obviously everybody does it. Depends on beliefs and things like that. People go to the graves and say all that they wanted to say there. But really, it's not the same. You're not face to face with the person. The person's not within their machine anymore, so they can't communicate back. And obviously people do that to give themselves comfort. but it's better to do it whilst you're alive. That's why even me and my boys, like nowadays, we tell each other how we feel. Like, I respect you, bro. I love what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? You motivate me. You remain the same. You get what I'm saying? So it's about embracing people whilst they're here, man.
Yeah, and the NHS, been doing such a great job. I mean, people have been clapping for them tonight, of course, and it's hard to comprehend what they're going through as well at this time, and
it's mad. They're risking every single day, every single time they go work, for every minute they're at work, they're risking their lives to save us. But then people can't do something so simple. Everyone's going out clapping, but then I'm still seeing people in the parks having picnics with their boys, not the people they live with their boys. You get what I'm saying? And you're just making the job harder. They're having to risk their life for longer. So why are you clapping? You get what I'm saying? Clap if you're actually doing things you're meant to be doing, sticking to the guidelines, not going out unnecessarily. Just try, man. That's the most you can do is just try.
Now, Anthony, on the boxing front, at the start of this year, before this whole madness came in, you had a fight that it was brilliant. I remember watching that fight, and I thought you're fighting Sergey Kovalev,
yes.
Who's known to be, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world.
Yes.
You're fighting him in Russia, which at the time I thought to myself, is he mad going to Russia? You got forget points. You ain't getting no points decision or nothing over there.
Yes.
And you took him closer than anyone's ever took him. I mean, you just lost that fight. I mean, it was an unbelievable. That's probably one of the fights of the year so far.
Yes.
And tell us about that whole preparing for that, going, being over there, fighting in Russia, in his backyard, absolutely everybody supporting him. I mean, it was unreal.
It was actually it's one of them surreal moments. It's like, I even said this recently. I didn't realize what I was doing until I was there. I know it sounds mad, but I didn't realize the magnitude of the fight until I saw one of my favorite fighters ever, Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
He was there ringside, and when they were doing the national anthems, remember, I've never been in a fight before where they're doing national anthems. It's always something you dream of, but I didn't even comprehend that was going to happen until I was there. It's mad because I'm so focused, I'm so driven, I'm so, tunnel vision. I said to myself, when the fight got announced to me that it's a possibility, I said, this is my dreams come through. However hard it's going to be, I'm gonna fall in love with the hardness and the battle, because if I go to Russia and beat Sergey Kovalev and knock him out, because I personally feel that that's the only way I was going to win the fight. I'm not going to go to Russia and get a points decision. It's impossible, regardless. And he had the fight set up with Canelo next, which was a multi-million-dollar fight. Canelo's the biggest name in boxing right now.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to win by knockout to make that an upset, to upset the odds and to, push myself in there. But I thought I could do it. I almost did do it. And that's why, I got a little bit of criticism. I got a lot of props, but I got a little bit of criticism for, emptying my tank and, just going full throttle. But I said this, I prefer me exhausting myself by going for it. Then it goes to points and then I feel like I've won, but they give it to him. That would have destroyed me. So I had a method in place, and that was after the sixth round. After the sixth round in boxing, it's like, that's the cruising stage. After 6 rounds, you're setting your ways, you're not going to do anything out of the ordinary 9 times out of 10. You're just going to box. So I said, at some point, I'm going to hurt him. When I do hurt him, I'm charging up like Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry was facing Real Madrid and he ran through the whole team.
Yeah.
Kind of mentality I had. I was going to go for it full throttle. I almost pulled it off. A couple more seconds, the referee either would have stopped the fight or the landing. It's just one of them things. You live and you learn. The best of fighters in the world with a lot more experience than me have taken losses. And I just need to learn from it. Come back.
That's your first defeat, isn't it?
First defeat.
First defeat. Listen, nobody wants a defeat, but listen, you've lost your first fight to, as I said, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world right now. Known for, not known for knocking people out, known for being a really rough fighter, and you performed brilliantly.
Thank you.
I remember they brought you on the pitch at the Emirates.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch by Arthur, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was big. I went in the director's lounge.
Mm,
I met a lot of the directors and important people in Arsenal. And again, it's one of the things where like it was heartfelt because when I went on the pitch, the crowd were all
mm.
clapping and cheering. I almost started crying. I grew up watching Arsenal day in, day out. I was one of the people in the stadiums cheering Arsenal on. And then when I went into boxing, it's like everybody knows when you go into a field, you need to give it 100% focus. So whether I still watch it on TV, but I don't go to the stadiums as much.
Mm.
But it was nice to get that warm welcome from Arsenal.
Yeah. No, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And after following that fight, you've got another big fight lined up.
Yes.
Right. Fighting this guy from Manchester. He's unbeaten as well.
Yes.
And that was looking to be one of the big British fights this year. And then all of a sudden, coronavirus comes in, and what's happening with the fight? Is it still going to happen, or?
It's still going to happen. That's still the scheduled fight coming up next. It's a bit frustrating really because we were both training. We done the press conference. We was both getting ready to fight. The fight was set for April, and then the virus happened, and then it got set for July. That's looking very unlikely now as well. But I'm just one of the people. I try to stay genuinely fit. We might not be boxing fit right now. We can't spar and things like that, but we can stay genuinely fit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I mean, look, how? Because are you able to go? I know you're still looking fit, right? But I'm saying you can't go to the gym at the moment, can you? You can't.
No, there's no gym access. One of my friends owns a gym, but again, he's got guidelines he needs to stick to. Otherwise, he could lose his gym. It's just hard, really, But I feel like it's a lot to do with your mental. I got a skipping rope. A lot of the things I've got for boxing are portable. I've got a skipping rope, but I can shadow box, go for runs. I've been doing bike rides recently. Something again, I never used to do bike rides before, but I've been doing bike rides. I've been roller skating, which is very good for your legs. It's just different exercises. Doing YouTube workouts.
Yeah,
man. It's not.
You still can't. I mean, you can't spar, can you? You can't spar. I mean, when's sparring gonna come back?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, and I'm hearing that the guidelines now that they're gonna start letting athletes go back to the gym. Even that, I'm not, because I've had like losses in my family, and I know people that have lost people, and friends have lost family members and things like that. When they say, "Oh yeah, everyone can go back to work or everyone can go to the gym," is one of the most dirtiest places or most bacterial places you can find in the world. It's filthy. Every gym, even if it's clean, it's the easiest way to pass on germs or whatever. So I'm gonna wait a bit. I'll be honest with you. I'm still going to train, but I'm gonna wait a bit until I start going to gyms again, sparring people. It just sounds a bit mad to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you. Obviously, you're a massive Arsenal fan, massive football fan.
Yes.
Of course, football. The plans are for football to come back, and it's been a bit controversial. And for me, there's no more perfect person to ask than you because the coronavirus has hit your family hard.
Yeah.
They're planning to come back June the 12th or maybe June the 19th. Is that too early for you, or do you think as long as because it's going to be behind closed doors, but do you think as long as they observe certain things is fine, or for you, do you just say, no, it's too early?
Personally, I just feel like it's too early because of the death rate. If the death rate was a lot lower, then yeah, you could do these trials. But I'm not saying, I feel like every human on this planet Earth is equal. Yeah. Some obviously do bad things, some do good things, but at the same time, we're still human beings. And just because some people are athletes and they're entertainers, and some people go and do 9-to-5 jobs, they're still human beings. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you go and put professional athletes back into an environment where there's definitely going to be contact, and there could easily be another tragedy, and then that's going to hinder things again. Why not just wait? I'm a person that believes in sacrifice. We can sacrifice our sports, seeing our sports. We can get a chance to miss our sports again, and not take it for granted. Miss our sports again, sacrifice that bit of pleasure just for a little bit more for a better outcome. We could rush back into things, and then a tragedy happens where a whole team gets affected, and everyone will panic. I don't feel like it's worth it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. How does boxing return? I mean, football's returning behind closed doors. Is that going to be the same for boxing then? Is that going to be behind closed doors?
Do you know? I don't know, but I heard rumors that they're going to try and make fights happen. I think Dana White, who's the UFC main guy in UFC, he said that he's going to get a private jet and get fighters flown over. Again, I'm actually a boxer and I fight for the crowd. Well, I fight for myself, but I also fight for the crowd. You know, I like being entertaining, like being explosive. I like putting on a show. Putting on a show in front of cameras and putting on a show in front of a crowd is two different things. So, even when I fought Kovalev, he had the crowd behind him. I was in Russia, and when I almost knocked him out, he drew something from somewhere, and it was a lot to do with the crowd because the crowd was nuts. They were screaming, and his coach said, "I'm going to stop the fight." When he went back to his corner, his coach said, "If you take another round like that, I'm going to stop the fight." So little things like that in boxing, we're driven by the crowd. We're driven by the crowd. Yeah, so we need. I don't agree.
It's hard to imagine, like, you know, some of them big, like your fight. That was a big fight. The Tyson Fury fight recently. These are big fights. Tyson Fury, Dante Wilder, without a crowd.
Imagine that.
It'd be strange, wouldn't it? But that could happen.
It could happen. Or even watching it on TV, you know, this and what the problem with that is, yes, we can fight with no crowd, but you know what human beings are like. They're gonna know the fight's been announced. They're gonna go to their friend's house and watch the fight at their friend's house. Everybody's gonna link up some way, shape, or form. Do you get what I'm saying? Someone's gonna stick to it. So it's like it's just breeding gaps for people to actually violate the thing and just meet up. People are doing it already by going park and just walk. When I'm on my runs, I'm seeing people. I genuinely know both people, and I know they don't live together. I know that they're just boys or they just know each other, and you're seeing them walking around and just doing nothing. So
it's mad. It's mad. Well, listen, football could be returning back, and when it does, Arsenal. How are you feeling about Arteta?
You know what, Arteta. I've always liked Arteta. I just feel like when it does come back, when the players are at the teams they're meant to be at, it's just, I believe in, you know, when you have to wait for something and it makes it 10 times better.
Yeah.
Let's just wait. There's that building process to make it more exciting. And when it does kick back off, you know, the first couple of games, the world's going to be watching. It's going to be like the World Cup final because everyone's excited to wait for it. So once it's happened, it's happened. But at the same time, you're risking a tragedy in the way you rush things. I just don't believe. Even with the Dele, I heard Dele Alli got held up at his house.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. Last night.
2020, the amount of bad news that's flying around has just been crazy.
The thing is, someone got to rob somebody when we're on a lockdown. That's the thing I can't get my
at their own house. That's what I'm saying. So there's so much tragedies happening around the world, whether it's coronavirus, whether it's people getting robbed, whether it's, you know, you're seeing police tasering people in front of their children. There's so much tragedies happening around the world. We need to actually just stay in our house. When the right things come back to place and the games start happening again, it's going to be a good time, something to celebrate.
Yeah. There's loads of comments coming in, by the way. Danny Flynn says, I don't think go back to work. He says, if I don't go back to work, I won't get paid. Do you think players should be paid if they feel like returning to playing is too risky?
That's one of the things. Again, as I said to you before, I believe in sacrifice. I'm in a different position, so I have savings and things like that. But trust me, believe me, I've been in a position where I had nothing. I had no money whatsoever. So I know what it feels like to need money urgently, to pay bills, to eat. I know about all the things, but I also know about sacrifice. And when I had to sacrifice and I had to, you know, do things I shouldn't have been doing to get on the train, do things I shouldn't have been doing to get food, and all them things, it's like there's a reward at the end of it. So I believe when you sacrifice, there's a reward. And I know people need to go work, but even when Boris Johnson made the speech, I was there holding my head saying, why is he saying this? Because now companies are going to be saying, you've been given the go-ahead to come back to work. We're not going to give you sick pay no more, or whatever the pay is. You've been told you can come back to work, so come back to work. And then that's going to spike the whole thing where everyone starts getting sick again.
So you're just not feeling this going back to work, trying to get back to, it's too soon for you.
It's just too soon. If everybody looks at the death rates here, and the people getting sick, and even though some of them are recovering, they're still being left with this thing of damaged lungs, and go and do the research. So it's like, yes, people are recovering from it, but they're going to be stuck with something that's going to hinder them. Do you get what I'm saying? So, or that could possibly hinder them. And if we just stayed in the house for a couple of weeks or a month, and everybody stuck to it, and this virus is cleared out, because what they say the self-isolation thing is what, 2 weeks or something like that, or 7 days. If everybody done that, there'll be no more virus, or they would have cured everybody they didn't need to cure, but no one was listening, and the thing just keeps getting passed on, and people just need to know the effects it has, man. Just stay at home for at least 2 weeks, and then it will make it better anyway. It might not cure it, but it'll make it better.
Alexander says, Anthony Yarde, what do you think about KSI as a boxer? And who's your favorite Arsenal player and legend? And who's your favorite boxer? He's also a lot of questions here. And he says, stay safe and good luck for your next fight. So first of all, he's asking, what did you think about KSI as a boxer?
KSI's my guy, man. He come to train with me before his first fight with Logan Paul. He come to train with me. He even put on YouTube saying that's his hardest workout yet. Paces. You know what? He's genuinely a nice guy. You know, he's worked hard for what he's got. There's a lot of people that they say, oh, it was given to him. Nothing's given to anybody. He's maintained that, and he's built on it. So I didn't expect him to perform how he did in a boxing ring. I'll be honest, because he shows some skills. And I know how hard boxing is. There's going to be all these critics saying, oh, he's not good, he's not good. But as a boxer, in my opinion, he done very well. There's some professional boxers that I've seen with my own 2 eyeballs ain't as good as KSI, and I'm being honest.
But what did you think of that, though? KSI boxing, and like you, and by the way, you are right, man. I know him as well, and that guy puts it in. He's not had nothing handed to him. He's worked hard, and continues to do so. But what do you think when you see like YouTubers boxing, and not only boxing, they're making millions. Them two made millions. They had pay-per-view. They had the biggest pay-per-view just behind, I think, maybe the Deontay Wilder Fury maybe picked it. But I mean, when you see that, as a professional boxer, you're there year in, year out. You know what I mean? And you're at the top of the game. There's other men who are getting battered week in, week out. And you see these guys put that fight on. Do you think, is that sort of dissing the sport, or do you think, it's fair play to him?
Do you know what? It's 50-50, because I'm all for it's fair play, because if I see someone get something in an easier route, I'm all for that. You know, if you can go out there and make a living for yourself and you can progress, I'm not a hater. I've not got a hating bone in my body. I'm a professional boxer, yes. We train ridiculous for years. We go in there, we spar, we get bloody noses, we get broken ribs, in order to just to make it, you know, build it ground up. You know, you need to build a name for yourself, all that. They've come in with a name already, so they make a lot of money from having a fight. If I was a YouTuber, I would do the same thing. So, and 90% of boxers saying, you know, it's a disrespect to the sport, and they shouldn't be doing that, they shouldn't be doing this. If they was a YouTuber and they had the opportunity to go and make that much money by having a fight, then they would do the same thing. You know, in terms of what it is, in terms of it being a tribute to the sport, yes, I'm sure that they will even agree on this statement I'm about to make. Classing it as a professional bout can be labeled as disrespectful, but at the same time, I was all for that. I was one of the people supporting it. I bought it to support it, because I'm all for bringing attention towards boxing, because boxing as a sport, even though it's a big sport, you know, it gets some of the biggest views in the world, it's still not classed as a mainstream sport in terms of consistency throughout a year. So anything that brings attention to boxing, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and he also asked your favorite Arsenal player. Currently and legend.
Okay, I'll go for legend first. Legend has to be Thierry Henry, or should I call him Sir Thierry Henry? For
current.
many reasons. Current. So hard, man, because I'm caught between two.
Which two you caught between?
The defender that defended, I can never get his name right. You told me last time. The one that defended him.
Kolasinac.
Kolasinac.
Yeah.
The reason why he's one of my best players is because he defends his team on the pitch and off the pitch. You cannot deny somebody that's willing to, defend his team on the pitch. Aubameyang, I can never say his name properly either.
Yeah, Aubameyang.
He was one of my favorite players as well. He's a clinical finisher. Sometimes he's a bit, but again, he does score big goals for us. So I'll probably say them.
Favorite boxer?
Current.
Yeah.
I'll always say myself because self-preservation. But barring me, as far as I'm concerned, Manny Pacquiao was still active.
Yeah.
He's still active, so I'll have to give it to Manny Pacquiao just because he's still an active fighter who is already a legend. No matter what he does next, he's already a legend.
Okay. This guy here says, fight Kolasinac.
Kolasinac want this smoke. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, with Arsenal, we were starting to sort of turn things around, didn't it? Like at the start of this year, it was a bit dodgy. Arteta's come in. We was on a decent little run. This coronavirus is a bit like in your case, where you're on a little bit of a momentum, and then it stops Arsenal in his tracks.
Yes, exactly. And again, Arteta being with Arsenal, I feel like he will fit Arsenal so well, just because of his style of play. He's one of them players that will give assist and all them kind of things. So again, sometimes strikers, not that the Arsenal strikers haven't had the good midfielders, because again, Ozil was fantastic giving deliveries and things like that. But sometimes when they give them more chances, the chances of getting better finishes are better also. And Arteta will do that.
Yeah, Arteta's doing well. Baram says, hey, Anthony and Robbie. He said, hope you guys and your family are well. I'd like to ask Anthony, what was your motivation to get into boxing?
Again, that's a good question. My motivation to get into boxing was Mike Tyson, first of all. He was someone that I saw, and watching his documentary and seeing where he come from, how he started and things like that, it caused me to want to box. And then my biggest motivation was life. Things I was going through, situations I found myself in. And opportunity, I just saw that there was opportunity there. I read up on stories. Again, someone like Mike Tyson, I saw how he started. And I just saw it as like it was achievable. So
he's talking about, there's a lot of talk that he's going to come back, Tyson. There's been videos of him boxing and stuff that he's looking sharp.
I even had to post a video of his, because Tyson, for me, he was one of the best entertainers in history.
Yeah. But coming back at 50, was he 52? Coming back, man, is that is that wise?
He's 53.
53. I mean, listen, looking great for 53. Looked like he's still got the power, the sharpness, the speed. But as my brother quite rightly said, when you're doing those, no one's hitting back. Now, is that a wise thing for him to be talking about coming back?
Not at all. And I always say this, when a boxer has retired, leave them alone to retire, because like even Floyd Mayweather, he's probably my favorite boxer of all time, because of the science of hitting and not getting hit. He's been the best at it. There's been talks of him coming back. Every time he's gonna come back, I'm one of the people saying, "No, man, go away. Just go away. Just keep what you've done in the history. Undefeated, made the most money in history, all that kind of stuff. Keep it and leave it. Coming back when you're elderly, and everyone saw how Mike Tyson ended his career. It was one of the things where I was watching the TV almost crying, because I was such a big fan of his, and then you could see he even said it after one of his fights where he was just doing it for the money. I don't think he'll be doing it for the money now. He'll be doing it because he's probably got that itch back again. But go and spar. If he wants to fight somebody, let him go and do a spar with this.
I think you see with you guys, when I say you guys, you boxers, it's that inside of you, innit? I can imagine like he's sitting down there and he's looking at certain fight. I could deal with that guy now, you know what I mean?
Especially and again, no disrespect to the heavyweights of this era, some of them are fantastic. But he's looking at it saying, if this was my era, he would have eaten people alive. And I've been saying this. I'm sure that a lot of fighters, heavyweights, current heavyweights will say, I would never want to fight a Mike Tyson in his prime. But one thing Mike Tyson needs to understand is that he's 53 years old. And guys, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, he might still have punching power and things like that, but he don't know how he's going to react to getting hit again. There's so much things.
Yeah, this guy's trying to get you in trouble. He says Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury.
Hey! What I do need to know is when they're going to fight, because that fight needs to happen.
Yeah,
Fury's already proven himself. He's still undefeated. What he's done, the reason why what Fury's done is so spectacular to me is the fact he was out for so long. He came back and it was strictly boxing ability, which made him arguably win the first fight with Deontay Wilder and then annihilate him in the second fight. Joshua, giving me credit as well because he lost to Ruiz. He came back and outboxed him and beat him. In a boxing match, I will have to give it to Fury, but then Anthony Joshua's got that thing. What he done with Vladimir Klitschko was when he gets up close and he starts letting his hands go, he can take anybody out as well. So, based on current form, I'll have to give it to Tyson Fury because what he did to Wilder, that was unbelievable. But in a fight, I just feel like that fight needs to happen.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happen. Dust says he's from Louisville, Kentucky. He said the heart of boxing, the home of Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah.
Said, big up to Arsenal. Keep Aubameyang at all costs. He says, go inside, Anthony. You got this.
Yes.
Right? So that is the home of boxing, man. Muhammad Ali, Louisville, Kentucky. Mr. A says, when are Arsenal going to have lions in the camp? That's one of your phrases, isn't it? Lions in the camp. He says, when are Arsenal going to have lions in the camp? We've got cubs at the moment. He's a big fan of Anthony.
Lions in the camp.
That's one of your sayings, isn't it?
Yeah, lions in the camp, man.
Have we got lions in the camp at Arsenal? Does the mentality need to toughen up?
That's what it is. I always say this. My slogan, lions in the camp, I always say at the end, it's a mentality because lions have no choice. There's none of this, I'm going to choose to work hard this day. I'm going to choose to hunt on this day. Lions have no choice. They're doing the same thing day in, day out because that's their lifestyle. Lions in the camp, it's a mentality. There's no choice. There's none of this, I want to do things that way. I want to do things that way. Full throttle all the time. There's no fear. Lions in the camp.
Lions in the camp. Trey says, Anthony Yarde, your toughest fight opponent, and could you please teach a few Arsenal players a lesson in spirit and standing up and not just fade when it matters for the team? And then he mentions the Europa Cup League Cup final last year.
That's what I'm saying. I was one of them people holding my head at the TV, shaking my head. And because I'm one of the people that have got that lion heart mentality and there's no quitting me, I'm just like, why can't these lot just continue running? Why? Back in the day, I used to. This is why I wear these t-shirts. I have to put it down strong because when I used to watch Arsenal, the last minute of the game they were still playing. When there was Perez, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, listen, Reyes, them players, they play to the end. They will be 2-0 down, playing to the 90th minute, get 2 goals back in the end. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like. Not only this Arsenal team current is missing, but that's what the Premier League's missing. There's only a few teams that have got that grit that will play to the end. When I'm seeing players walking because they're 1-0 down, it hurts, it breaks my heart. Sometimes I even log onto YouTube and watch the old Arsenal games. To bring my spirit up.
You want to get you down at the training ground, man. Get you down there. I mean, get the lions in the camp, man. Trust me. Chris Cook says, do you like any other combat sports? Could you ever see yourself having an MMA fight? And he said Fury and Floyd flirt with the idea, but they won't. But what about you?
You know what? It depends. I'm one of them people I can fight. I'll be honest with you. I could do it. Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll do them things with my boys. Like we're chilling, we start wrestling. You know, we try and get each other in submission locks and things like that. I've done that since I was young, before I was even boxing. So it might be something that sparks my interest, depending how my career goes. In my mind, I know how it's gonna go, but could it be something I'll do at the end of my career? I don't know, because a lot of them guys are dangerous. I'll be honest with you. Getting kicked in your head and things like that. Yeah? It's
a dangerous sport, man.
It's a dangerous sport. Boxing dangerous as well.
Boxing is. But then you know what I notice a lot of times and I've been to MMA and that. A lot of times the guys who can box good though,
yeah,
do very well in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot because there's a lot of if you can catch some of them, but if they get you to ground,
that's what I'm saying.
It's over. I mean, those UFC MMA guys, they are unbelievably tough.
And me, I'm not flexible on the hips, so my leg can't go all. So when a kick's coming towards me, I don't know what I'll do. But
I saw one fight the other day, right? Or I saw a video the other day where a guy in training, they showed his training video. So he just kept practicing jumping up and doing a knee. I don't know if you've seen that video, right? And then he has a fight now, and he just, when the bell goes, he just runs out.
I see that one.
Jumps up and knees the guy and knocks him out. I was like, imagine you met that guy on the street.
It's long.
Oh boy. Rayon says here, what age did you start boxing? I want to get into boxing myself.
Again, I'm one of them people that started boxing very late. I first started learning how to box when I was 19 because I was planning on taking it seriously. I done like about 3 months.
19 is late.
Very late, especially in the sport of boxing. People start when they're 9-10 years old.
Yeah.
I done about 3 months worth of training when I was 14, but then again I was into other sports when I was in school, so I went off into athletics. When I was 19, it's like I went in a big circle, so I took it seriously when I was 19 years old. I had my first amateur fight when I was 20. In my opinion, it's never too late. You know, it depends on your mentality, how serious you take the sport, how much heart you got, and how quick you can pick up the skills.
Yeah, and I mean, give us a typical, like when you had that fight, right?
Yeah.
Kovalev, yeah, which is obviously the biggest fight of your life.
Yes.
What was your typical day like?
You know, it's my typical day. No matter what fight it is, I've always pushed myself to the limit. And as you get more experience and you learn more about your body, you can push yourself in different ways. And a typical day for me was going to the gym. So I like to wake up naturally. So I'll get to the gym roughly around 3 p.m. every day. I'll wake up around 12 midday, get to the gym around 3, train till like 6. And that's non-stop. That's like taking like 3 small water breaks in the training session. And then you go home, you rest, you really and truly just want to go sleep. But in the night time, I'll go for a run. And then the day after, I'll probably do the same. And somewhere in there, I'll put a little workout in there. So like fitness, not fitness, but like a little gym workout, not lifting weights or nothing, but press-ups, dips, press-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, little things like that, exercises. And just repeat the same thing next day. Spar. Like it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. One day I'm actually going to put on my social media that someone's going to get to come and have a 3-day training session with me. So it's like
3 days in a row.
3 days. So it'll be.
You're trying to kill someone.
No, because they need to understand. They need to understand what boxers go through. So for 3 days straight, they got to come and they got to try to keep up with everything I'm doing.
Who trains harder, boxers or footballers?
100%, hands down, no question about it. Boxers. There's no question about it. I've played football. I haven't played at the Premiership level, but I actually genuinely know people that have or that do. I played at a decent level. I've done athletics, but nothing will surpass boxing in terms of the fitness of the training.
Great. Trent Singh says, has Anthony watched the Last Dance documentary? That's the Michael one. He said, can you relate to Michael Jordan's mentality? # Lions in the camp.
Lions in the camp. Listen, whoever what's the name of the person that said that about Michael Jordan?
Trent Singh.
Trent Singh. All I'm going to say to you is this: look, they will know what I'm talking about. Listen, Michael Jordan's documentary has changed my life. The first documentary I watched that changed my life was Mike Tyson. This is the second documentary that's again changed my life. Michael Jordan's mentality, what he achieved, everything about his being is nothing short of spectacular. Everyone that has seen it, I'm not even promoting it. I don't even know Michael Jordan. But if anyone needs inspiration, go and watch that documentary. It's on Netflix. His mentality was on another level. Another level.
Winning mentality, isn't it? Which is what we want to see at Arsenal.
Yes, exactly. All the Arsenal players need to get forced to watch that documentary. Forced, because listen, I don't want to. I'm one of the people that don't like ruining it for people. Please go and watch the documentary. I've watched each episode twice each.
Yeah, you know what? I sat down to watch it the other night and got distracted. Twice I've sat down to watch it, and I'm like, yeah. I said to myself, I want to watch this without no distractions. And my kids are like, yeah. So I'm saying I'm going to set aside a time to watch it, because I remember when Michael Jordan was playing, it's like one of my favorite players as well. And you could tell, even without watching that documentary,
yes,
you could tell the guy's mentality. He's a winning. Just like Kobe. I mean, again, another sad one that passed away earlier this year. He had the same sort of mentality, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to ruin it for no one, but watch Kobe. Even if you look on YouTube, yeah, I used to watch Kobe Bryant interviews and watch him because of his mentality and things like that. He always talks about Michael Jordan, because he even says a lot of him is Michael Jordan. He studied Michael Jordan to the T. There's a video on YouTube where they play Michael Jordan's in play in the NBA game, Kobe's in play in the NBA game, and Kobe does the exact same movement to the T. And it's not like just one movement, it's like running from one end to another. He does the exact same movement and scores the exact same as Michael Jordan. That's what you call studying.
Yeah. Raphael Luke says, agree with Anthony. The Premier League as a whole has lost its tough attitude. Gone are the days of Vieira, Keane, etc.
See, them kind of guys there, I feel like we need to give them guys more, pay them more homage. You know, they were tired, you know, just same way we're clapping for the NHS, we need to clap for them kind of players, because they're the players that made me fall in love with football. They're the days I used to cry over football. Me, Anthony Yarde, used to cry over football. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the passion they used to play with is different. And I'm one of the people, I'm a passionate person. So when you see somebody giving their all, you know, there's games when Patrick Vieira, when he used to Vaseline his chest, you knew he was being serious. He put the Vaseline here on the Vicks.
Yeah. I think they said he used to, I think that was some breathing thing, you know. Remember you always used to have that on? I think,
it was vapor rub, but even that, it was one of his signatures. Like,
yeah.
They used to cry. Like, I think one of the only players, I do want to say this actually, because they deserve it. One of the only players that have still got that mentality that I've seen is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. He
cries. When he loses, he cries. You see, it don't matter. He gives his all. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's arguably the best player in the world.
Yeah, it's true. He's got that same sort of Michael Jordan spirit, where, you know what I mean, he's like, I'm not here to come second. I'm here to win. And that's another
person. When he comes up with a documentary, I would love to see his documentary as well, because
he's another driven guy.
Yes.
Kenny Stevenson says, Yarde. Be careful how you're talking, Yarde. Says, do you have plans to move up to the super heavyweight division? Or he must mean heavyweight division. Yeah. You're light heavyweight at the moment. A lot of people who are light heavyweight move up. Evander Holyfield and all people like that. You've got, if you do move up, there's some big fights there. Any?
It's one of the things. That's what I'm saying. It's. I said it early in my career. That's my dream. Light heavyweight, cruiserweight, and then heavyweight. That's my dream, to conquer all divisions. For me personally, it will be less strain on my body. It will be easier to fight at cruiserweight. But the reason why I started my career at light heavyweight is because I believe in sacrifice and hard work and wanting to push yourself to the limit. People don't know this, that don't know about boxing, but I'm going to give you a little knowledge here, yeah? In boxing, the biggest gap is from light heavyweight to cruiserweight, yeah? There's over a stone difference in weight. So it goes from 12 stone 7 to 14 stone 4. That's one weight class. And all the other weight classes is like one for 145 pounds to 147 pounds. That's a weight class division, so it's 2 pounds difference. And then there's other weight classes now that are a bit bigger, but no gap in boxing is as big as the light heavyweight to cruiserweight. So there's a lot of fighters within that gap period. There's some cruiserweights that are too small, and there's some light heavyweights, i.e. myself, which are very big for the weight. And it's like it's hard for us to get down to the weight and to stay hydrated and things like that.
But what about going up though?
100%, 100%. If I ever go to cruiserweight, because my problem is, I can't. it's hard for me to hit 14 stone 4 on a normal. And natural cruiserweights, they come down from like 15 stone to 14 stone 4, which is normal. So I'll be really and truly be fighting bigger guys than me. But I feel like I can do it, you know. Once I adopt that Mike Tyson stance and come under, it's possible.
All right. Shrey says, Anthony Yarde, which footballer would you like to fight? A prime Vinnie Jones, Patrick Vieira, Carlo Di Canio, Roy Keane, or Zlatan?
Zlatan. You know what? Would I like to fight? None of them will win a fight against me. I'll be honest with you. But, I've always Zlatan's can do. Was he a black belt at Kung Fu or karate or something? Isn't he? That's why I said Zlatan like that, because he'll probably be the person I'll choose. You know, he's a serious guy. You know, he takes the game. You see how he takes the game to heart. But yeah, there's a lot of people. I would have said Patrick Vieira just because of Arsenal, but probably Zlatan.
All right, here's we jumping on a transfer rumor now. This one's for me. It says, Robbie, heard this morning that we're linked to Julian Draxler. What does Anthony think of him, and would you have him at Arsenal? I said this morning that Julian Draxler, now at PSG, of course, for me, that boat has sailed. You know, I mean, I want to see us. I mean, have you been impressed with the young players, Anthony? The young players at Arsenal. I mean, like guys like Saka, Martinelli.
That's what I was about to say. Martinelli, I've been impressed sometimes with him. Xhaka is good. What's the other guy's name? I'm bad with names, you know. The black boy.
Joe Willock, Maitland-Niles.
Say the name again.
Maitland-Niles, Joe Willock.
No, say that second name again. Niles.
Maitland-Niles.
Him.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got so much potential as well. But I haven't fallen in love with any young players. You know, I feel like there needs to be a player come through who was like a Thierry Henry. You know, that you ain't gonna get a Thierry Henry again, but you know when there was that excitement, when the player came, there was so much excitement around him. I feel like that's what Arsenal is missing. The difference between football nowadays as well is that everyone's moving around teams from early.
Yeah,
Messi has been at Barcelona from birth, from he started. You know, you get players young and build with the team. That's not really happening now, man. It's hard to get that happening. That's why for me, I love Arsenal, but it's like I need that connection. I'm a very loyal person, so it's like when Van Persie left Arsenal, I was heartbroken. I was like, I get why.
You should have went and took him out then. You know what I mean?
I was heartbroken, man. I understand why he left for his career, but I was just heartbroken, man. Where's the players that stick with their team nowadays?
Yeah. It was money, innit? Money, man.
Money.
Al Gore says, Anthony Yarde, how was competing in the Haringey Box Cup? I'm trying to get a gold. I
got a gold. And the advice I will give you is be fearless. When you're fearless, even with me, in the Kovalev fight when I went to Russia, I was fearless. I believed I could have won that fight 100%. That's probably why I've done so well. If you think of, you know, experience-wise, if you think of everything, you know, the experience I had in terms of the fights I had, how much fights I had, how much amateur fights I had. I had 12 amateur fights. He had over 200. He had been world champion for years. He had more world championship fights than I had fights. So it's like, if you look at it, you know, logically, I had no chance of winning that fight. But in my mind, I was going to go and win it. That's probably why I've done so well. So you need to have that mentality of that you can just accomplish anything.
Yeah, thinking about it, right? Boxing, it's going to be really tough. I mean, this whole coronavirus thing is going to be really tough on your sport because there must be so many fighters right now. I mean, you like you said, you've got to do so much training to get into shape for a fight. Now, you've got to be living in that gym. None of you have been in that gym. You're all going to be starting from zero. You've all been at home. Yeah. Not every boxer is as disciplined as you. You know, there's a lot of boxers that, you know, they do most of their work when they know they've got a fight coming up.
Yes.
In between that, they'll lose a bit of their discipline. And it must be really hard for boxers at the moment because you're sitting at home, the gym's shut, and you don't even know when your next fight will be. It's not like football where they're working away trying to find a date to, you know what I mean? So it's going to be very hard to get. I mean, it's going to take a long time for a lot of boxers to get back into shape after this.
Exactly. And it's like, even when you're watching the Michael Jordan documentary, yeah, there was, I won't ruin it for no one. I won't. But there was a period of time where everyone knows he retired and came back. When he first came back, he had the mentality of, I'm the best. So he came back and his skills were still there. But he even said, he goes, his body was not physically prepared for a whole season of basketball. And that's what it's going to be like for boxing. People might come back and get to the fitness, but the conditioning it takes, the internal conditioning, boxing takes years. So if fighters are losing that completely, I'm going to love it because I'm going to clean up.
So that's one of the things you're looking at the moment and saying you're just keeping your edge about it. Because I'll be honest, right? Even when you were saying about the amount of training you're still doing, I was like, I thought with what's happened right at the start of this coronavirus with you, I thought that might have been, you might have just said to yourself, you know what, I ain't even doing no training now. I'm just gonna, I just can't, you know.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest, again, I'm one of them people. I'm honest, and where people are going through similar things, or I like to motivate them and be inspiration for them. And I'm one of the people. I'll be honest. When you need to mourn, you need to mourn. You know, if you're upset on one day, be upset and understand why you're being upset. And there was a couple of days where I was just like, I felt down and I had no energy to train, but that's normal. And then what you need to try and do is, again, everything starts from the mind. You know, try and tune your mind to just become motivated. If you're a smoker, a heavy smoker, and you know that somebody you love that has gone always wanted you to stop smoking, use it as motivation. If you want to personally stop smoking but you find it hard, use it as motivation. If you want to start running your own business and you know that would have made the other people proud or make you proud, use it as motivation to actually drive towards that. Do you get what I'm saying? If you want your own TV, you want your own channel, you know, you want to become a professional athlete, do it. Use this time wisely to do the right studying, to get yourself in shape and just tune into something. And then I feel like, you know, for me, it's been quite a while that we've been on lockdown here, but to me, the time's flown because I try to keep myself occupied.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant words, man. Now, Mr. A says, Anthony, do you think Don Robbie would be able to beat Shannon Briggs in a fight? Is he mad? Robbie's got the one to just check out the Nasri meme video. # Lions in the camp. Listen, man.
Lions!
Shannon Briggs, man, trying to get me killed.
I'll be honest with you.
Shannon Briggs.
I know Shannon Briggs, yeah. A little bit of facts about Shannon Briggs, yeah. He's still one of the most dangerous guys on road. He's got the highest knockout ratio in history as a heavyweight. No, he's got the highest first round knockout ratio in history still.
Yeah.
He's knocked out people in the first round more than anybody in history, more than Mike Tyson, more than all them guys.
He's still got that bill, isn't he?
Listen, he's still solid. He's trying to call out these guys to trick them. Don't fight that. Listen, when David Haye was going to fight Shannon Briggs, I was one of the people saying, "Boy, this might be a mad fight, you know, because Shannon Briggs is dangerous. He's dangerous. He's dangerous." So I hope it. Again, Shannon Briggs, he's one of the people. He's such a nice guy. He went through that thing of depression and all that kind of thing, and wanted to come back. They didn't give him his license. I've always been one of the people cheering for him, saying, "Give him back his license. Let him even have like a 6-round fight. Let him try and become champion again. He's still fit. You see, he can still defend himself." But yeah, Shannon's a dangerous guy, man. You don't want to fight that
guy. No chance, man. No chance would I even go anywhere near any boxer. You know what I mean? I remember I did like some little, what was it? It was a few years ago. I did this boxing thing. It was like I lost a forfeit and had to do, and I boxed. Who's it? What's it? Oh, I forgot his name now. He was a footballer. He used to play football, and then he became a boxer.
Oh, Leon McKenzie.
Leon McKenzie. Sorry, Leon, man. But apologies, Leon. Right? And I was doing some sparring with Leon McKenzie, right? So back in the day, I used to do a bit of boxing and that. So like when I was in there now, I threw a couple of jabs. And he goes to me, "Oh!" Because like they'd had a couple of guys on before and they didn't know what they were doing. But when I come in, I threw a couple of jabs. Right? And I saw it hitting with one and he goes, "Oh!" So you know what you're doing then? So then he come in and the man threw a punch right in my ribs. Listen, right? Even the next day, I was like, "Yo, Boxing ain't nothing. Listen, I respect you guys, man, for what you do, man, because you know it's easy. Like I've got a little boxing bag and I work out and that, and it's brilliant. But that ain't hitting me. You know what I mean? And when you get hit, that's the. I mean, it's being able to take it. I think that's even more than being able to dish it out, isn't it? That's what separates.
100%, and that's what I was saying about Mike Tyson. He still might have the punch and be able to do damage, but how's he going to take a punch now? And I don't want to see Mike Tyson get hurt. See what I'm saying?
He's a big, you know, look at the size of Deontay Wilder. Look, this Tyson Fury. When I saw, I couldn't believe how big that guy is. It's about 7 foot.
Yeah, he's 7'2". The Tyson. That's what I'm saying. People see it on TV and think, oh, he's kind of big. See that guy face to face. He's
huge. You think to yourself that coming down. Yeah, and he's such a big guy and so quick. Yep. Quick hands, and you know, it's like, yeah, man, these people will kill you. You know, you know.
His boxing IQ is immense as well. For his size,
he's done brilliant. He's done brilliant. I mean, another guy you got to say his mentality to come back from where he was is unbelievable, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Shaquille Joseph says, my uncle died from corona last March. He says, what's your message towards people who believe that sports over events should be lifted in the next couple of months, such as football?
Again, condolences to you, my brother. I'm sorry about that. My views on it is, again, it's too early. I just feel that a lot of people, it's almost selfish. You know, we want to see football again where, you know, we're eager to get the league back and to, you know, have that competitive mind state to want our teams to win again and to be entertained. But again, this is a epidemic where a virus is going around, which we cannot see. We don't know when it's gone. The only way we will know if it's gone is when there's no more patients in hospital or there's no more victims dying. And it's not one of the things where it's worth it. Do you get what I'm saying? If we lost someone amazing like Kobe Bryant recently, it wasn't to the virus, but we still lost him. And I was one of the people that felt it. I was so upset because he was an iconic figure. He was someone that I watched all the time. He was someone that I was inspired by. And with football players, if anything like that happens with any football players, we're gonna feel the same. So I just don't feel like it's worth it. There's, as I said earlier on this piece, it's like where there's a bit of sacrifice, it won't hurt nobody. It would only bring a better feeling when we get to watch football again. And it's a safer way to do it as well.
This is a tough one for you to answer. Kelly says, Anthony Yarde, would you consider having a fight in the Spurs stadium one day? Now, you know, you will be careful with this one because they are actually holding a lot of events there, and it could be that, you know, a fight could be that you might have to, I mean,
you know what, my dream, this is actually a dream, is to fight in the Arsenal stadium first and foremost.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? You fighting at the Emirates,
it'd be massive. And again, my promoter Frank Warren, he's got a box at Arsenal.
He's an Arsenal fan. Yeah,
so
big Arsenal fan.
A big Arsenal. He's got his own box there, everything. So that's something we will actually try to make happen. You know, I just need to do my job and keep building my reputation and building myself. If I ever did fight in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it would be after Arsenal, and I would definitely be going there wearing this.
Imagine that. Walking out there, you got that on, you got Arsenal shorts, everything like that.
My whole box would be Arsenal.
Oh, that'd be something. That'd be something if you did that. You know, Big Night saying fight Canelo.
Listen, we chat when Canelo beat Kovalev, because remember, I fought Kovalev and then Kovalev fought Canelo around 8 weeks later. Kovalev made statements afterwards saying he had no time to recover from the fight with me, etc., etc., etc. When Canelo mentioned my name in the interview after about his next fight, and he mentioned my name and said my name was in the hat, I got an adrenaline of excitement, and I said I will take that fight. I don't even care what the
Not in Mexico.
Yeah, I would have went to Mexico. I promise you, Viva, and I would have worn the Mexican colors, Viva Mexico. I'm one of the people. If it makes sense and the reward's good, I believe I can give Canelo a hell of a fight. I believe I could possibly win that fight. A lot of people say I'm crazy. Styles make fights. I'm a lot bigger than Canelo. Kovalev was winning the fight before he got knocked out. But again, that's what I'm a person that I highly respect Canelo Alvarez. Highly. There's a lot of people that say, yeah, but you lost the fight to Kovalev. It was a different scenario. I was at a different level of experience, and I felt like I had no other option but to win my fight. But yeah, that's a fight that I would take in a heartbeat.
That would be a dream fight. That would be a dream fight. Maybe when things are back to normal, Las Vegas.
Hey,
Anthony Yarde versus Canelo. Wow, on they do those fights on that sort of Mexican day when they have that.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. That'd be a wicked fight, wouldn't it? Trent Singh says, "Who's Anthony's favorite AFTV regular? He likes to watch after a game. Troops or DT or someone else?"
No, you can't beat.
Loving your positivity. # Lions in the camp.
Lions in the camp. No, thank you, man. I'm just being myself, trying to inspire and motivate other people. My favorite would be Troops, man. You know what? The way when he was talking, saying, "Nah, blood, no," when he was doing all that, yeah, it's like I can relate to that because that's how the guys used to talk when I was growing up. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I first saw the interview, I was cracking up. Everyone was sending it around saying. And he's kept that same energy. He hasn't changed. He's still saying.
He's full of energy, mate. Trust me.
Nah, blood.
He's the guy you should get in for those free days. Get him in there.
We can actually make that happen. If he agrees, we can make that happen.
He always fancied himself as a bit of a bad man. Get him in there. That'd be funny. Show him real bad man. You know what I mean? Arnav says, Anthony Yarde, fight Stan Kroenke. Fight Stan Kroenke and tell him to stop taking money out of the transfer budget. Start keeping it. Funny one. That's a funny one.
If I could get them to lace up boxing gloves, even if it was a spar, I'll do it.
If you did that, then you wouldn't get your fight at Arsenal now at the Emirates.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's my guy. Stan, to be honest, actually, I like him.
You met him then?
No, I haven't met him. That's what I'm saying. But I do like. I like the way he deals with himself and how he carries the game, and how his attitude towards the game. I like him.
You're one of the few people, man. Alexander says,
I do want him to spend money.
Alexander says, Anthony, who's your favorite UFC fighter? Is it Conor McGregor? And who's your dream opponent? Is it Andy Ruiz? What do you think about Robbie's boxing skills?
I've never seen Robbie box, but since what he's told me, you might have to get in the ring with him and give me a little spare. We can get a couple.
Listen, that was Leo McKenzie. I'm not here making you hit me, man. Leo McKenzie's smaller than me. When he hit me in those ribs, man, I was like, Jesus.
That's crazy. I used to spar Leo McKenzie. He helped me prepare for a couple more fights.
Well, he's good. He just sort of ducked, like him. He just sort of went a bit like that Tyson one when he was training. That's how he did it. He just lean like that and just boom. It's like, yo.
My favorite UFC fighter. The reason I would say Conor McGregor, I don't follow UFC traditionally. I don't follow it. I don't watch every single fight. I would say it's between Conor McGregor. I used to love Ronda Rousey. And again, Silva. I used to love Anderson Silva. The reason I'll give the edge to Conor McGregor just his entertainment factor. He's extremely entertaining. It shows with what he's accomplished. And again, 9 times out of 10, he's backed up his talk. So I like Conor McGregor, man, because he's confident with himself. He's one of the people that help people believe in law of attraction. Say it and achieve it. Conor McGregor is one of the people, man. He's one of them characters.
Your dream opponent is Andy Ruiz.
Why would it be Andy Ruiz? Tell me that. Why would it be? No, my dream opponent. I'll give you past and I'll give you present. My dream opponent in the past will be Muhammad Ali, just for the respect factor, because I respect him so much, and it will be an honor for me to have fought somebody like that. It's impossible now. God rest his soul. But again, Look, I'm almost saying Mike Tyson. Muhammad Ali transcended the sport of boxing and made it possible for people like myself and every other boxer to accomplish what they've accomplished. Current fighters, I would say Canelo Alvarez, because he's been to my weight division, so it's possible to happen. And again, he's the biggest name in boxing right now, so why not?
Okay. We're gonna do a couple more. We're gonna do a couple more now because we're running out of time on the show. I'm trying to find one from someone asking a question that you haven't already been asked. Here's a simple one. Favorite food and drink? Lions in the camp.
Impossible. X to that question. X. Because I'm greedy. I'm glad they hashtag lions in the camp, because lions in the camp, it's lions. The only meat I don't eat is pork. I don't eat pork. I like fish. I like all forms of meat except pork. I like vegetables if they're cooked right. I like rice, dumplings, chicken, everything. Listen, I got a sweet tooth for snacks. I'm a foodie. I'm a food connoisseur.
So in other words, if you weren't doing all that training,
I'll have a belly out here. Listen, even since this lockdown, the way I've been eating is my eating habits that force me to train sometimes, because sometimes I eat and I'm like, no, I need to train because it's mad.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying to you earlier, right? You've got the discipline. I've seen you in the gym. I've been down here. I've seen how you work. You've got this crazy regime every day. You love it, yeah?
Yeah.
But I know there's some other boxers that they can only get motivated when they've got that big fight coming up. But they'll be eating. They're going to come out, and it's going to take ages for some of these boxers to come back, isn't it?
Crazy. It's like someone like Ricky Hatton. He used to blow up. He used to get to like 15.
Yeah, Ricky Hatton, yeah.
And have to go back down to, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Blow up in weight. But yeah, man, I don't know. You know what? That's why I'm excited for all these sports to come back so we can see how they're performing. You know? There's no rush, in my opinion. There's no rush at all. It will be interesting to see how it all goes.
Yeah, might be a bit of a leveler. Mr. A says, which two players would Anthony like to come to Arsenal?
Hey, you know what? Again, I'm just one of them honest people. Maybe I'm a glory hunter. I don't know. But one of the biggest names is Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, we're talking Ferry right now, because it probably won't happen. And then Lionel Messi. How can you not? I don't care. One of them
is proper greedy now.
I don't care. I will bring both of them to Arsenal. I don't care. Anyone else?
Madness. Can you imagine that?
I'll imagine one on each wing. It's a wrap. It will be.
Could you imagine? Thinking about that, imagine them two playing in the same team.
Hey.
Would that? I wonder if they'd work against each other though, or would they help each other because they'd be both so driven?
I just feel like
that'd be interesting, isn't it? It'd be really. It's never going to happen, but it would, wouldn't it?
It would just be. You know what? There was a hoax that went around saying that Messi's they're gonna be on the same team. Do you remember that? I
don't remember that. No.
There was a little hoax that went around saying that Messi's moving to Juventus, I think. And when I heard that, I said, I could have been a meme. I could have been a meme when I saw that. Imagine them on either wing, yeah. Whether one's driving from this way and they collide. Listen.
They'd be like nicking goals off each other and everything, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? You could just imagine it.
That would be fantasy football.
Definitely be fantasy football. And last one for the night. This guy just rounding it off. Michael, he says today's show was great, guys. Thank you very much for that, and it has been great. And Anthony, thank you very much. I know, people be inspired by you tonight, because with what you've gone through with this whole coronavirus, great message where you were telling people that stay home, stay safe, and that, and also the fact that despite all that, you're still there, you're still putting it in, you're still being a credit to your sport. Yes, it's absolutely brilliant, and I'm really, really honored to have you on tonight. It's been fantastic.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Robbie, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep entertaining us, keeping us entertained. Keep giving us hope for the Arsenal Football Club. It's hard sometimes. You still give us hope. And yeah, man, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on. And everybody, Anthony Yarde, and we'll be back in the morning with AFTV News Daily. But great show tonight, and thanks. Oh, by the way, just before I go there, just got to remind everybody, if you want to get involved and you want to appear on the show, we want to get a couple of you guys, because there's always so many of you with great comments. Send in a video of you talking about football into AFTVcontent@gmail.com. That's AFTVcontent@gmail.com. And also out there, if you're a FIFA player, we've got a FIFA tournament that's going on at the moment where you can win £500. If you want to join that,
I'm joining.
You're a FIFA player?
I'm joining. I won't take the money. But I'm cleaning up.
Chance to join our FIFA squad. And what it is, we're putting together like a team where we're gonna so I'm looking for 2 people who can be, play for AFTV FC online. So if you want to enter that, the link's going to be in the description below. But once again, thank you very much, Anthony, and thanks to everybody, and we'll be back in the morning.